12. The news at noon starts right now.
The search for Suzanne Simpson is going wide and deep.
Well, crews are continuing to dig through part of a landfill in southeast Bexar County for anything they can find connected to the Almost Park woman's disappearance.
This is now day 3 of the police presence there. Our Katrina Weber live there today as well. Katrina, we assume they haven't found anything, but have you seen any change in the approach of the investigation?
Well, you're correct. They have not found anything just yet. I can tell you this is the same equipment and the same approach that has been going on. But one thing we have noticed is that the area that they're searching appears to be widening a little bit. Now, they have this area that is mapped off as sort of a grid, and they've been, for the most part, focusing on the front left corner of that area. But as you can see, that excavator now toward the back of that section, and that is where it appears to be digging right now. Now, the method is the same. They've been taking loads of trash that they've dug from this landfill, putting it in the back of that dump truck that you see there, and then when that's full, they drive it to the top of the hill, dump it, and they have people up there who are carefully going through all of the contents from this landfill. Now, what we understand from a letter that the chief did send out, the police chief sent out to residents of Almost Park the night before last, was that he said in the letter, we feel confident that we have a good chance of finding Suzanne Simpson here at this landfill. He says they came here because of evidence, statements, and other police investigatory work that led them to this location. And so this is where they have been since Monday morning, a search going at earnest yesterday and then continuing today. Now, Suzanne Simpson, of course, is the 51-year-old from Almost Park. She disappeared Sunday a week ago, and her husband did report her missing. A neighbor later told police that he heard the couple arguing, saw them fighting, and then heard screams coming from the woods. And so police have put a lot of emphasis on this case in trying to find Suzanne Simpson, fearing that she may be hurt or worse. Her husband, Brad Simpson, meanwhile, in jail on family violence charges and also facing federal charges for an illegal weapon that he had. He is being held on a $2 million bond at this time, but he's not charged with anything concerning her disappearance. Police say, though, he has not been cooperating, and his brother, Barton Simpson, made a post on Facebook in which he really has some choice words for Brad Simpson, telling him that this is not what their family is like, that the fact that he's not cooperating is unacceptable, and he really was encouraging his brother to cooperate more fully with police. But at this time, we don't have any evidence, and he's not facing any charges that he has anything to do with this disappearance. Police, though, are acting on their own investigative work, which led them here to search this landfill, and we understand that they're going to be here at least until the end of the workday today and possibly the rest of the week. We'll keep you updated. Reporting live in Southeast Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Katrina, and we will check back in throughout the day during that investigation. Meanwhile, taking a look outside with live cam, the front is here.
It's here. We have been so patient over the past several weeks to finally see a more noticeable cold front push through. It has cleared the area you saw out when Katrina was out there. It is breezy as well. North wind gusts have picked up, generally upwards of about 25 to 30 miles per hour in its wake, but temperatures this afternoon headed for the mid-70s. That's it. That's our daytime high here in San Antonio. For context, yesterday we hit 95 degrees here in San Antonio. So we're going from record breaking, in some cases, Monday we broke a record, yesterday we tied it, record breaking temperatures to now cooler than average temperatures because this front has pushed through. 71 beautiful degrees right now here in San Antonio, same out to the east in Gonzales at 72, in New Braunfels 75 right now, the current temperature in Eagle Pass. Plenty of sunshine in store throughout the remainder of this Wednesday as well. Again, temperatures topping off just in the mid-70s here in the Alamo City, but it still will be breezy out there. Winds will start to calm down into this afternoon, but I think some additional gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour will be a possibility, especially over the next couple of hours. And when you combine that with the drier vegetation and drier air in place, fire danger will be elevated this afternoon. So avoid outdoor burning. Temperatures, though, going to be very nice. In fact, a little chilly out there by tomorrow morning here in San Antonio, falling into the low 50s, potentially some 40s across portions of the hill country. Unfortunately, in terms of rain chances, very minimal over the next 7 days, just a very isolated chance by Friday and into Saturday. So we're going to get you a look at all those details coming up in just a few.
Thank you, Mia. Well, San Antonio police are hoping you can help them track down the suspect involved in a deadly stabbing. This happened back in February on the northwest side. Police tell us that they found 47-year-old Regina Meyer Martinez stabbed multiple times behind an apartment complex in a wooded area near Babcock Road. Now, if you have any information about this case, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number should be on your screen right now, but it is 210-224-STOP.
The man killed in a shooting yesterday near downtown has now been identified. San Antonio police say 20-year-old Marquise Evans was shot and killed in a car in the parking lot of an apartment complex on East Grayson Monday night. Police say there were likely multiple shooters and several different types of shell casings were found at the scene. So far, though, no arrests have been made.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner has also identified a man who was killed in a shooting on the city's south side. 31-year-old Armando Torres Jr. died after that shooting on Annalisa, just east of Roosevelt Avenue on Monday night. Now, officers are telling us that 2 men were involved, including the victim. A San Antonio Police Department preliminary report states that there were family members who got into an argument that led to the suspect pulling out a handgun and shooting his family member multiple times. Torres was pronounced dead at the scene.
Looking ahead, the trial for a man accused in a double murder is expected to start on November 5th. Juan Antonio Reyes is accused of shooting and killing 2 relatives in July of 2022, then setting a fire to cover up the evidence. An arrest affidavit says Reyes, along with another man, John Bishop Torres, were seen on surveillance footage entering and leaving the house the day of that crime. Yesterday, Reyes' attorney told the court they had what they needed from the prosecution. If found guilty by a jury, Reyes would automatically be sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Well, at least 20 homes that are in need of repair or safety and health upgrades will be getting the help they need thanks to $1 million in funding. This is all thanks to Project Build Up, supported by the Housing Texas Owner-Occupied Repair Program and Congressman Joaquin Castro. Our Sarah Costa tells us about the announcement made just hours ago and who it will impact.
Seniors, disabled, and those on fixed incomes are the ones that are going to benefit from this $1 million funding that's going to go towards repairing homes in Bexar County. This is all part of Project Building Up, which is started by the Merced Housing Texas Owner-Occupied Repair Program that has helped 781 Bexar County low-income and senior or disabled residents repair their neglected or underinvested homes since 2002. The nonprofit has a long waiting list of those in need, all on fixed incomes that don't have the money to make those repairs. Congressman Joaquin Castro presented $1 million check from his office to help fund the nonprofit continue to serve Bexar County residents.
You know, there's no way that some of these seniors could afford $50,000 in repair, and oftentimes they'd be forced to sell those homes and go somewhere else. This allows them to make repairs and to stay in the neighborhoods where many of them have been living for decades.
I found out that the foundation was very off and it was creating lots of cracks interiorly and externally. I found out that the lead paint from 1925 was chipping and falling all over the yard and affecting health also. And the ceiling was falling inside because of the foundation, so all of the plaster inside had started to fall down. And so they repaired all of that.
With the $1 million funds, about 20 residents will be helped to make those repairs to their homes to preserve homes in older neighborhoods in our area. And you can find out more about this program. Just head to their website, mercedhousingtexas.org. I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
All right, a lot of people might feel strapped for cash this holiday shopping season, and stores are offering incentives for those budget-conscious shoppers if you sign up for their credit cards. But is signing up worth the savings?
Well, the holiday shopping season is just around the corner.
Can't believe that, but no doubt amongst the hustle and bustle, you'll be asked the same question over and over at checkout. Would you like to open one of those store credit cards?
Well, however, Consumer Report says think twice before you sign that dotted line.
We've all been there. Before you swipe your credit card to pay, you're told you can save even more, sometimes up to 20% off your purchase if you open a store-branded credit card right now.
Generally, this is not a good idea. Sure, those upfront savings can be very enticing, but if you don't pay off that balance before a promotional period ends, you'll pay a lot of interest.
While the average credit card has an interest rate of around 20%, the interest rate for retail or co-branded credit cards is at an all-time high at 30%. And some are even higher. Credit cards from JCPenney, QVC, and Walgreens are almost at 35%. Burlington, Big Lots, and Michaels are almost at 36%. And we know that around half of Americans carry a balance month over month, along with paying more money that can impact your credit score. So is it ever a good time to consider signing up for a store credit card?
If you shop at that store a lot and you're vigilant about paying off your balance every month or before a promotion ends.
Just be aware that many store-branded cards have low credit limits, so a big day of shopping for holiday gifts could max out the card.
Well, another thing to remember is that store-branded credit cards are sometimes easier to get than conventional credit cards. So if you're trying to build up credit history, these can be a good option if you commit to having no balance or a low balance.
Pay attention to that.
Yes.
We're also paying attention to these temperatures.
Yay.
I walked outside. I almost forgot for a second. It was so nice.
So refreshing, low humidity. So combining that with the cooler temperatures, just fantastic news out there for this Wednesday afternoon. Not so fantastic when it comes to the aquifer level for the day. I do want to show that to you, down over half of a foot. We could definitely use some rain chances. Unfortunately, just very, very minimal. Most of us dry into the weekend at 626.2. In terms of our pollen count, ragweed is moderate. I did get the question earlier, could ragweed get worse in the days ahead because we do have those breezier winds in place? Ragweed is a lighter pollen, so sure, it could get tossed around a little bit more, but typically when we think of allergens and cold fronts, we think about mountain cedar, but that season doesn't start until December. Mold should stay low because, again, we don't really have a lot of rain in the forecast. We will get you a full check of that forecast coming right up.
I was telling you guys yesterday, we were waiting for our run because we knew things would change this morning, and it did. We could feel the difference.
I think a lot of people maybe have kind of planned their outdoor plans this week around the cool front moving in, because it is just night and day difference. This time yesterday we were at 88. Right now we're at 71, so we're already 17 degrees cooler right now than where we were this time yesterday. So that's fantastic to see. And tomorrow morning, going to feel a little bit more like fall out there for
Maybe
sure.
a sweater.
I already brought out the sweater today.
Look at you.
Because
You're ready.
I'm ready.
If she can do it, you can do it.
That's right. So yes, sweater weather for tomorrow morning. Maybe. We still do have drier air too. So, temperatures are going to be warming up each and every day moving forward. We're going to be in the mid 70s this afternoon, closer to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and then we're back in the 80s, but still closer to average for this time of year. Looking ahead to the upcoming weekend, let's go ahead and talk temperatures right now across the state. Again, now we're up to about 72 here in San Antonio as of the latest observation from San Antonio International. Still a bit warmer well off to our south. It's 88 in Brownsville, but check out temperatures across the northern half of the Lone Star State. 54 in Amarillo right now, just a degree warmer in Lubbock, currently 64 degrees over there in San Angelo. So this front has cleared south central Texas. You likely have noticed some of those breezier conditions out there this morning. Generally, we've seen wind gusts out of the north to northeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour for the most part. Into this afternoon, yes, we will still have a little bit of a breeze to deal with. Some lingering gusts upwards of 25, certainly possible. But into this evening, we should start to see those winds subside and calm down just a little bit more so. But what those northeast winds have been doing for us, yes, allowing some cooler air to work back into our neck of the woods. but also we have drier air in place as well. As we take a look at the dew points, which is how we measure that lower level moisture in the atmosphere, we are in the 40s closer to San Antonio, a little bit more moisture off to our south as you get closer to Cotulla as well as Laredo. But with that drier air in place and of course the dry vegetation that we have across the area, you combine those two ingredients with the gusty winds still lingering into this afternoon, and fire danger is going to be elevated. This is the latest fire danger forecast put out by the Texas A&M Forest Service. You can see kind of this coral color. That is very high fire danger for New Braunfels, San Marcos, even stretching across our far eastern counties near Hallettsville, Gonzales, and even here in San Antonio, fire danger is elevated. So just avoid outdoor burning if you can. No campfires or burn piles today. Avoid using tools that create sparks, especially if you are going to be outside. Dispose of cigarettes properly. Don't drag trailer chains. That's a big one. And also, if you can avoid it, don't park vehicles on grass. Fire danger should get a little bit better, at least those conditions over the next couple of days. But again, just a good idea to avoid outdoor burning if possible into this afternoon. Talk about, though, clear skies, drier and cooler air in place. Take a look at what morning temperatures could look like across the region tomorrow by 7 a.m. Around 51 degrees. That's our forecast low currently here in town. If that verifies, that'll be the coolest morning that we've seen here in San Antonio since early April, and perhaps even some 40s across portions of the hill country. So yes, you will want the long sleeve for a few hours into the afternoons. But again, with some sunshine, partly cloudy skies tomorrow, we should be warming things up closer to 80 into the afternoon. Notice your morning low temperatures here. They will start to come up closer to average by Saturday and a little bit above that by the early next week. That's thanks to some additional humidity that's going to work back in. So morning temperatures come up, some added cloud cover as well. Again, those high temperatures closer to the low 80s into the upcoming weekend and then a bit warmer into next week. And in terms of rain chances, just very, very isolated Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, most of us will stay out or stay dry and out of those rain chances. We will talk a little bit more about that in depth coming up in the next half hour, plus some awesome pictures for those that were able to spot the comet again last night.
So amazing. I'm so excited because I got sent some pictures that look professional and they were taken on a phone.
That's what I'm hearing. You can take it on your phone.
It's very cool. People have been getting pretty creative with them too.
Love it.
I'm making sugar skulls. The sugar skull represents your loved one that has passed away. You decorate them with glitter, with feathers, colored foil, and you write the name of your deceased loved one on the forehead of it. And the reason that they're made of sugar is so that when you go to the gravesite, which is traditionally where you would place them, that the ants or the rain will eventually wash it all away, symbolizing the temporary status of life. We believe that as long as you're remembered in life, you're not dead. But what I do is I put about 5 pounds of sugar and 5 tablespoons of meringue powder. If you're gonna color it, this is where you would add the color. So once you have the sugar and the meringue powder mixed, you're gonna put in some water. And very little water is required. I get like a little thing like this and then just put it in tablespoon at a time, and it starts to get that kind of wet sand feeling. And once it sticks together like this, that's how you know it's ready. A sugar skull mold should have 2 pieces, the front of the skull and the back. You pack the sugar into the mold very tightly. You take a piece of cardboard and smooth out that part and then gently lift off. Sugar skulls were originally done when the Spanish came over and they showed the natives how to do sugar art. So I leave them for 24 hours to dry. I like to keep everything edible as I get some royal icing. It's basically what pastry chefs use as glue. And there you go. And you've made a sugar skull.
All right, a heads up right now for students and staff at University of the Incarnate Word. The university just sent out an email saying there was a water main break on Broadway Street that has affected the entire campus. So that means there's no water available to the campus along Broadway Street right now.
Well, SAWS is working on that issue, but does not have an estimated time on how long water may be out. The university has also made the decision to cancel afternoon classes and have employees work remotely. Again, a water main break on Broadway Street has shut down water access to UIW. Now, this is also affecting the San Antonio Zoo. Zoo officials posted that on Instagram this afternoon.
We will keep you updated on that online. All right, the FAA wants to make airport runways safer, how it plans to collect data at dozens of airports.
A new push for freedom for the Menendez brothers, who are serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for killing their parents. I'm Rena Roy, and I'll have the latest coming up.
Well, what more can be done to prevent dog attacks here in San Antonio? It is a recurring problem, with a heartbreaking case happening just last week.
Becoming very common, but now there's a potential tactic on the table. Garrett Berger tells us what city leaders are looking at.
It's not just high-profile attacks that get San Antonians' attention. It's the loose dogs in their own neighborhoods.
That's why I don't go to church too much, because I'm afraid.
District 7 Councilwoman Marina Alderete-Gavito says she hears it too.
Where they can't even walk around their block at dinner, after dinner, or are scared about their kids walking to school.
Prompted by her request, Animal Care Services presented a council committee on Tuesday with ways to crack down on dangerous and loose dogs, like allowing people to use a fake name, such as John Doe, when they file a dangerous dog affidavit. They'd have to use their real name if it were to get to court, but it would be enough to get an investigation going.
We've heard feedback from some residents that just do not come down and fill out the information because they're fearful of retaliation.
And ACS thinks owners should be more fearful of the penalties for letting their dog roam loose or bite people.
The city wants to raise the fines for repeat offenders by more than double. And failure to prevent a bite would be even higher, starting at $1,000.
I think that people can tell me all they want that, oh, these penalties are too harsh. You know, to me, the consequences of doing nothing are even harsher.
ACS also plans to sterilize some loose dogs before they're handed back to their owners and be more thorough in ensuring the other owners follow through too.
Animal care!
In general, they're also planning to give fewer warnings and more citations.
When we do get out there and we do talk to the pet owners that are being irresponsible, we can't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Some of the changes require a council vote, which is expected in December. ACS is already also proactively inspecting repeat offenders, and the city plans to push for stronger dangerous dog laws at next year's state legislative session. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
And there are ways you can mitigate the chances of an attack happening to you or your pet. Animal Care Services advises all dog owners to get your pup spayed or neutered. They also stress the use of a leash when your dog is out of your yard. There are even responsible pet ownership classes available for pet owners that are interested. For more information about these resources, you can be found right now on our website, KSAT.com.
Let's look out there with live cam. It's a nice 71 degrees. It looks really pretty out there. And I don't know if anyone watching this afternoon may be at work, but maybe your coworkers are in a better mood today.
Right? Well, are you saying that we're in a better mood today, Steph?
Well,
because
I just feel like the newsroom's a little happier today.
I would agree.
It's like the heat anger.
Right.
Yes, and that's what we've been seeing. I know, Courtney, you emceed an event this past weekend. I remember whenever she got in, she was just like, it was a great event, but man,
I was
hot.
like, my face was like purple.
It was hot. So this is a very nice change of pace. And of course, we've got plenty of sunshine out there right now. Clear skies have been one of the reasons why we've been able to see the comet so well over the past several evenings. We have more pictures sent into KSAT Connect. This from last night near the west side of San Antonio. You can see it in between the houses there. How about this photo from Fisher, Texas? Beautiful with the sunset as well. You can also make out Venus there on the left-hand side of your screen. And this one with the windmill as well, just to the west of Sabinal. Thank you to everybody that have sent in your photos of the comet over the past several evenings into KSAT Connect. Continue to do so over the next couple of days. If you haven't managed to find it yet or spot it yet, maybe you just haven't had time, we have a few more opportunities through Friday. So this evening, tomorrow, and into Friday as well. Look off to the west, locate Venus, which which is that bright star. You'll look just to the right of Venus about 40 minutes after sunset. For context, sunset this evening is about 7:01, and see if you can spot the comet. That's looking west. I also want to tell you what is happening out in the east this evening. October's full Hunter's moon. It becomes full officially at 6:26 a.m. tomorrow morning, but moonrise is along the eastern horizon at about 6:35 p.m. this evening. You should have plenty of clear skies to view that. By the way, if you were curious what the name meant, it's named after the hunting that would happen from the people in the northern hemisphere to prepare for winter this time of year. Also, more pictures, KSAT Connect. We'd love to see them. We'll have another check at those cooler temperatures and that awesome forecast coming up in just a few.
Thank you, Mia. Well, oil and natural gas prices could be lower over the next 5 years. That's according to the International Energy Agency. A report by the organization focused on how energy prices soared following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 and the current conflict in the Middle East. It adds how oil and natural gas supplies will increase in the second half of this decade if the wars don't derail current trends. The IEA projects an overhang of those resources during the second half of the 2020s.
Well, the Small Business Administration's disaster loan program has run out of money following back-to-back major hurricanes. In a statement, President Biden called the program a critical lifeline for small businesses and renters who have been impacted by disasters. Despite the depleted funds, the president is urging people to continue apply for the loans. He says Speaker Mike Johnson has promised the funds will be replenished once the House of Representatives returns after the November elections. So far, the SBA has received roughly 49,000 applications for relief from those impacted by Hurricanes Helene and Milton alone.
The Federal Aviation Administration is auditing the potential for near collisions known as runway incursions at the 45 busiest airports in the USA. Well, the FAA says the audit will focus on risks at each airport. According to the agency, the goal is to improve safety, and this comes on the heels of the National Transportation Safety Board's preliminary findings on a September incident. In that incident, an Alaska Airlines flight had to abort takeoff as a Southwest Airlines flight taxied across the same runway. No one was injured. The FAA says overall runway incursions are significantly down, but even one incident is one too many.
American officials expect Israel's retaliation against Iran to happen before the U.S. presidential election on November 5th. It's in response to the missile attack earlier this month. Sources say the timeline and parameters of the retaliation have nothing to do with the election. Still, they say Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appears to be sensitive to any potential political ramifications Israel's action could have in the U.S. The growing conflict in the Middle East is a persistent issue in the American election.
Well, a public plea today from the family of the Menendez brothers to release the men from prison.
Eric and Lyle Menendez are serving life sentences without the possibility of parole for killing their parents in 1989. The Los Angeles District Attorney is now reviewing that case.
As ABC's Irina Roy reports, the family is hoping they'll be home in time for the holidays.
It's a murder case that has recaptivated the nation. 35 years later, with a new Netflix documentary and drama series catapulting the Menendez brothers back into the spotlight.
Everyone asks why we killed our parents.
And now family members will try to push the Los Angeles District Attorney to recommend resentencing for Eric and Lyle Menendez, who are currently serving life sentences without the possibility of parole after shooting and killing their parents in their home in 1989. Lyle was 21, Eric was 18.
You could see when they were younger that there was these two lively, fun children, young boys, who just became sadder and sadder through the years.
The family arguing the allegations of sexual abuse should be considered in the sentencing. The DA says he's reevaluating the case, citing new evidence, including a letter written to a cousin detailing allegations of sexual abuse at the hands of their father, Jose, and a recent assault allegation by Roy Rossello, a former member of the band Menudo.
The significance is now, this does support this man, Jose Menendez, was a sexual predator.
ABC's Juju Chang sitting down with the DA, some questioning his agenda.
Some people call the timing of the decision political because you're up for re-election, and this raises headlines.
If you think that Netflix is somewhat conspiring with me to release this documentary that they have been working on for years, Let me just put it this way, there would have been a much easier path to be unelected and getting reelected than the path that I have taken.
While the DA can recommend resentencing, it is the court that has to do so.
The court is going to have to determine whether this new evidence, it shows that, in effect, at the time of trial, maybe the outcome would have been different.
The DA tells ABC that he plans to make a decision on this case sometime this month. The family today will be joined by the brothers' attorney, Mark Garagos, as well as Rosie O'Donnell. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
The social media companies might know more about your kids than you do. Why the FTC says parents should be very concerned, plus what you can do to protect your children.
We are on our way to Boerne, a city that's in Kendall County, just northwest of San Antonio. And it's interesting because this area has pretty much wanted to carve out its own identity. It specifically does not want to be known as Northwest San Antonio. But when you go in, this place is wildly different. It's got a small town feel. Very nice. We heard about people from Boerne back in August, how they rallied together to support their Little League team as they competed in the Little League World Series. They finished fourth, by the way. They did very well. There was a parade for those Little Leaguers when they came back, and that was a really nice show of support from the community. The question is, what's motivating people here to vote this November? That's what we're going to find out.
But also manually, we're so short on any of our blue collar
plumbing,
everything,
plumbers, electricians,
yes,
mechanics.
If you talk to anybody that's trying to build anything, it's near impossible to get.
The working class supports us. We want the working class in here. I want them to be able to come in here and to enjoy community with one another, talking to one another. How's that freedom is there going to be an opportunity where they can thrive enough to be able to do that?
Even in politics, both sides have to work together. Even when one side wins, you still have to work together, right? So it's really about just coming together and finding a middle ground and making it work for families that work hard.
Well, that's part of our latest edition of Your Voice South Texas. Episode 7 takes us to Boerne. And if you haven't checked it out yet, the segments are KSAT's effort to go out into different communities and hear about the issues affecting you right before the election. So you can watch previous episodes on our website at ksat.com.
Well, here in South Texas, we're all too familiar with issues along the Texas-Mexico border, but there is another issue brewing between the two countries that has nothing to do with immigration. Instead, it has to do with water rights. It's left farmers in the Rio Grande Valley in a dire situation.
There's nights I just lay in bed thinking, what's going to happen if we run out of water?
And that's a real possibility. Turns out Mexico is in danger of not fulfilling their side of a 1944 treaty. In tonight's KSAT Explains, we'll take you through the complicated issues surrounding shared water in the Rio Grande and why it may end up costing you more at the grocery store. That's tonight at 6:30.
Look out there with live cam, and if you haven't stepped outside yet, please do. It's really pretty out there. I highly recommend it.
The only thing that we're missing is better rain chances, and unfortunately very, very minimal. Don't get your hopes up. Managing expectations, just a stray 10 to maybe 20% chances in the forecast by Friday and into Saturday, but at least we finally do have some cooler and more comfortable temperatures out there. 64 degrees was our low this morning. It's about 3 degrees above the average low for this time of year. But check out our daytime high. That will be below average. 76 the forecast in San Antonio. The average is 82. And thankfully, for the first time in a few days, well below the record of 97. We'll get you another full check at that forecast coming right up.
All right, so for the past month, I feel like we've been talking about breaking heat records, which has been very depressing.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Not so much today. It is such a breath of fresh air to walk out to. I do want to kind of recap what we saw earlier this week. We know that it was not fun, especially for mid-October standards, right? Sunday, we were 1 degree shy of a record. We hit 96 degrees in San Antonio. The record was 97. We broke a record by 3 degrees on Monday. It was 95. We reached 98 in in the Alamo City, and yesterday we tied it with another high temperature of 95. At least we've had lower humidity, so the heat index hasn't been much of a factor, but of course nobody likes to deal with those hotter than average 90s into the middle of October. Good news today, we are going to be well below that by about 20 degrees this afternoon compared to where we were yesterday afternoon. So our average high for this time of year is 82, well below that today, and even over the next couple of days, near 80 expected by tomorrow afternoon, low 80s into the upcoming weekend. Then we'll start to warm things up just a little bit more so as we head into the early portions of next week. But let's go ahead and talk about today first. Take a look at the 24-hour temperature change. So temperatures right now compared to where we were this time yesterday, anywhere between 10 to even 20 degrees cooler. Right now, 71 here in San Antonio, 72 over in Bulverde, 73 in New Braunfels, same over in Castroville, stretching over to Devine. Current temperature in Kerrville checking in at 70 this lunchtime hour as well. Plenty of sunshine is expected into the afternoon, but still very comfortable with that high temperature right around 76 degrees here in the Alamo City. If you're stepping out for any Wednesday evening plans, very pleasant. 72 degrees expected by about 6 o'clock this evening. After the sun goes down, we'll continue to see those temperatures fall into and through the 60s and eventually into the upper 50s as we get a little bit closer to the midnight hour. Here's a look at high temperatures across the region later on today. 76 out east in Gonzales, 77 in Nixon. It'll be 80 over in Uvalde, so a little bit warmer across our far southern and western counties. We have that drier air in place, so yes, also very comfortable to step out to. One of the reasons why fire danger is still going to be elevated into this afternoon. And that low humidity will continue into Thursday, but then notice the moisture, more of that working back in from the Gulf as we head into the later portions of this week and into the upcoming weekend. We need moisture to make rain, but unfortunately with dry air in place right now, that's why we just stayed pretty dry as the front passed through our area earlier today. Much of the Lone Star State very quiet as well. That high pressure system that's currently across the Central Plains is going to be working eastward over the next couple of days, and eyes will then shift out west. We'll be watching this low pressure system digging through the desert southwest, but notice by Sunday, instead of taking a turn farther east, which would mean better rain chances for us, as of right now, it looks to bypass us a little bit to the north. So that's one of the reasons why, yes, we will have the humidity in place, but unfortunately, that low pressure system looks to move just a little bit too far to the north for us to see decent rain chances here in town. So we'll just keep it at a 10 to maybe 20% chance at best Friday and into Saturday. That's very unfortunate. We need rain. In fact, today marks day number 41, consecutive days without measurable rainfall here in San Antonio. So far for the month of October, we have not recorded any rain. And when you compare that to the average so far for October, we should have seen 1.78 over in the rain gauge at SA International. For the year, 21.3 so far, but that's now over 5 inches below where we should be for 2024. So hopefully looking ahead to the second half of October, we'll see a little bit more of a pattern change that will bring us some better rain chances. Unfortunately, looking dry for most of us over the next several days. At least temperatures will be very nice and chilly in some spots, especially by tomorrow morning.
A nice change. Thank you, Mia. Well, for years now, social media companies have been watching, tracking, and using what they know about us. A new report by the FTC confirms what many experts have been saying for a while. So why does it matter? Our Patty Santos explains.
A report by the Federal Trade Commission says 9 social media companies have been watching everything our teenagers are doing online.
Our Patty Santos tells us why they're sounding the alarm for parents and lawmakers to take action.
Social media companies have been watching everything your child over 13 years old is doing online. The Federal Trade Commission did a study on 9 social media and video platforms and says these companies are harvesting and sharing your child's personal information. Things like their hobbies, email addresses, gender, age, even their relationship status.
Advertising is a huge source of revenue for them, and there's a thing called targeted advertising where you can use information about individuals to serve ads that you think might be more relevant to them. which sounds great.
And that's not all. FTC attorney Jacqueline Ford says the first danger is that it failed to protect them from bullying, harassment, child exploitation, and expose minors to content that intensifies their mental health issues.
Things we found is that there were very few restrictions placed on teen accounts, but the collection of personal information was exactly the same as it was for adult users, which is really troubling.
Some online companies have started to make changes. Instagram launched a teen accounts program aimed at limiting the amount of time minors spend on their app. But Ford says it's up to parents to take charge of the information we give social media companies. Start by creating a safe username, one that doesn't reveal their age, gender, location, and is different from their email address. Review their friends list and use the privacy settings to restrict anyone from being able to reach them. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's get you one final check at those current conditions outside. 72 degrees here in San Antonio. Plenty of sunshine. A few degrees warmer up in New Braunfels. Now checking in at 74. 70 in Kerrville. Bernie still in the upper 60s this hour. So again, we will continue to see those blue skies into the afternoon. Very comfortable when it comes to those afternoon high temperatures, right around 76 degrees. But avoid outdoor burning if you can. Winds should start to calm down over the next few hours, but still some lingering gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour will certainly be a possibility. We bottom out in the low 50s tomorrow morning, some 40s across the hill country. It'll be a layering day. You'll want the extra layer in the morning, but not into the afternoon, with highs headed for that 80-degree mark. More of the same, but we'll start to warm things up into next week.
Yeah, I'm excited to wear a sweater tomorrow.
It's going to be so nice.
Steph asked if she can wear boots. I'm going to say yes.
Okay,
Me too.
we'll do that. Have a good day.